sat inside the Mercedes GLS, absolute monster of a car. The car comes with Harman Kardon from stock, which is basically the upgraded system that Mercedes offer on this particular vehicle of this particular year. So what do you get as the actual system? You get a tweeter at the top in these little pods here with the Harman Kardon icon written on there. Then you get a mid-range, which is in the bottom of the door next to your mid-bass, which is in the bottom of the door as well. Two-way rear, so a tweeter and mid-bass. So you've got three-way front, two-way rear. Then we've got amplification in the car as well. So in essence, that's kind of the sound system that we've got in the car currently. Obviously, you do have more speakers. You do have the center speaker and potentially a sub in the car as well. However, it's now time to basically have a listen to how the system sounds as it is. Then later on, we're going to be showcasing the entire install with you guys, showing all the cool stuff we're going to be doing. So we're going to be doing 3D printed speaker adapters. We're going to be doing soundproofing on the vehicle. We're going to be adding a sub. We're going to be adding new speakers, amplification, loads of different presets, and loads of control for our client. Like at the moment on the stock system, basically all you've got is treble, mid, and bass settings on the actual radio, which is so limiting. What we're going to actually have and give to our client after this install is multiple presets to have different genres of sound, all customized to how he likes his music, all time aligned, all focused exactly where the staging needs to be on a system. But that is enough talking for now. Let's have a listen to how this system sounds. So on this car, there's no actual volume dial, so we can't see where we're up to. Getting love from my city. I roll call for the DMV. In my own lane, you could still ride with me. No one knows I need you want in, but it's too late. I don't need your support just to know I'm important. I won't ever sell myself short, cause I know you see me on the come up. Big girl with big dreams. So kind of first impressions of that song is kind of the bass is actually not too bad. It sounds pretty solid in here. And when a car sounds kind of solid like this does, like Range Rovers do, like Rolls Royces do, once we've soundproofed it, once we've got a better mid bass with more power going into the system, honestly, they rock. So this is going to be an incredibly good sounding car, and big SUVs are, and that is one of the reasons why we've changed our demo car over to something a little bit special, which we will be showcasing very soon to you guys. But they sound absolutely solid, and also kind of when they're in a big car, you've got air moving around the car, sound can travel nicely, and also locations aren't too bad in this car. In terms of those higher frequencies, I think that's really where it's struggling. Like it doesn't feel balanced to me in here. So when sitting in the car, kind of that blend from a tweeter to the mid-range into the mid-bass to the depth of sound just isn't quite there. It seems it's very obvious where sound's coming from, and when you've got a system done properly, a system should sound very smooth. Everything should just flow into each other, and that's all down to tuning, product choices, locations, how the install is done. There's no point in having great equipment if the EQ and all the tuning and all the work that happens behind the scenes that you see us do day in, day out isn't done right. So it is very important, and that's again why this client has come back to us. This is actually a repeat client. We are used the last car we did for him was a Range Rover. Now he's changed over cars, so it's now time to get this one spec'd up and sounding exactly how he wants it.
So before we get too carried away in terms of listening to this phenomenal system, I just want to run you through all of the equipment that we've actually got in here and talk about the system. So to start with the front end, so we've got a 3-way fully active front end. What that means is each channel of the amplifier runs individual components. In terms of the front end, in terms of those actual components themselves, they're all from the Horningsea Legend range. So we've got a Horningsea Legend tweeter in stock location, Horningsea Legend 3-inch, and then Horningsea Legend 6.5-inch woofer down in the bottom of the door as the mid bass. Phenomenal set, really nice. And the fact that it's all OEM looking, there's literally nothing on display here, is one of the nicest parts of this system. And it sounds completely different to the Harman Kardon system that was in there originally. Moving over to the rear speakers, again complete stock location. We've got a 2-way set in the rear, but this time we're using an Audison Voce set, which is basically kind of one step down from the Horningsea Legend range as rear fill. So we're using an Audison Voce AV 1.1 tweeter and then an Audison Voce AV 6.5 in the rear doors. Then over to the sub to add that depth of sound, and this actually moved over from from this client's previous vehicle that we did a system into, and we installed a 10-inch active sub into his previous Range Rover. He's now moved that into this car. So this is really important, that you can move equipment from car to car. So whenever you sell a vehicle, it can come out and move just like this system. It's all fully reversible. The system come out and just move to another car, so your investment stays where it is. Then you've also got an amplifier in the system with a processor, and this is really important. This system allows basically for something called an Audison Forza 12-channel amplifier. This amplifier is really important because it gives us control, not only power. So there's amplifiers out there just like a normal 4-channel, 5-channel that you would have seen potentially. Those amplifiers are just power. However, this is power and DSP, which is digital signal processing. Gives us control in essence. We can tune the system. Then also, there is a bit of an issue with the factory system. Because the system has Harman Kardon in it already, and also just the system that it is in terms of that factory source unit, the amount of clipping that comes in and distortion that gets added in from that factory radio is absolutely unbelievable. So it took a little bit more work for myself to get this car sounding right in terms of that EQ. But our team have done a fabulous job in installing such a beautiful system, and proof is in the pudding of that. So let's have a listen to the system.
You could say anything, but it could mean everything, cause you said it to the right person and they needed the compliment. But isn't it sickening? You can say you're in love with them, but it won't mean anything at all. But that's not your fault. Life's funny like that. You lose one thing, get another one back. You thought you knew, but it wasn't a fact. No, I'm your whole life, but it was all a net. There's no meaning, but like in the best of ways, you could go 100 days without really doing anything and still have the right to say I'm so incredible. Yeah, I'm lovable, cause it's not enough of almost no. You want in, but it's too late. I need your support just to know I'm important. I won't ever sell myself short, cause I know you see me on the. Life's funny like that. You lose one thing, get another one back. You thought you knew, but it wasn't a fact. No, I'm your whole life, but it was all a net. There's no meaning.
So the difference between the two is just incredible. The control this system now has, like the vocals, you can just the amount of time alignment and work we've done to tune this car, it's just massive. Like it's just a control. Like you can actually hear where the vocals are supposed to be heard. You can hear all the instruments behind that track, really creating that beautiful experience inside the vehicle now. So the system wasn't horrific before, however, it still lacked a hell of a lot of things, and one of those things was that clarity, that control of sound, and also alignment of sound. So like where the sound stage is, where the vocals are coming from, All of that sort of stuff all makes a massive difference. And when you're sitting in a car now, like I am now, so this is all time aligned to where I'm sitting, the difference you get, and like where the soundstage is now, and we've got different presets to have different kind of genres of music. So I've got one set up as more of a clarity setting, I've got one as more of like a drum and bass setting for our client, and then one actually as a podcast and kind of talking radio style of EQ as well. And this is really important because lots of people have different types of EQ, and that is part of the control that you get via a processor. So I've got 3 presets set up on this car currently, and we can always tweak this with our client as well. So when you want to listen to a podcast, the vocals, you don't want that sub kicking in so much, so we dropped that down. We played with the EQ to make that sound stage pretty much like that person is talking literally in front of you. It's like sitting in front of them and watching them talk. It is absolutely breathtaking, even something like that. Especially when it comes to sound now, like you just heard on that track. The difference you get and control, I'm sure you'll be able to hear the difference between what it is now to what it was before. But the difference is that control, that smoothness of sound, and everything is now blending correctly. So moving on now, we're going to play another track, and we're going to just talk about the controller quickly before that. So on one side of the center console where the drinks holders are, just in front, you've got a cigarette lighter on the right hand side, but it was just blank on the left hand side. What we've actually managed to do is flush the new Audison Forza controller into that location. Looks really nice. Just the integration of this gives you a lot more control again. So you've got sub-level control from here. You also got the option to go through different presets on this client's car, and then also you've got the master overall volume control as well, which is quite cool. So let's play a couple more tracks. I'm going to play now, and I'm going to change the setting over to something with the drum and bass setting. So it's a couple of clicks on the unit. So that's now on the drum and bass setting. So this has a little bit more depth, so that's why we'll get this across to you on here. And remember guys, this system uses all the factory controls, yeah? Back in that bag again. Whoa, back in that, yeah. It's got so much depth.
Now I ain't talking my pockets, just know we ain't running out the way that we stock it. If I got it, you got it. If I call it, she sliding, tell her to mop it. Yeah, I got that doing. Then she took that thing off and bring it around. Going at it till I'm on. Put that 90 in a hole, I'm beating it down. I'm back in that bag again. Oh, whoa, I'm saying that. I'm back in that bag again. Yeah, yeah. Oh, say that. I'm back in that. Yeah. Oh, what you doing? Yeah, yeah. I'm back in that. Hey, hey, where you going? Hey, hey, back in that bag again. To bring me around your friends, you know that I'm bagging them. Request me on Facebook, no I ain't adding them. Positions I had her in.
And that is still with the sub on half. Like the difference in depth of sound. I mean, this car did have a sub from stock, but just nowhere near this sub. And we've actually bolted this Audison Prima sub down. Again, the sub is not taking up any space. We have removed the spare wheel, and we've used that space underneath the floor on this vehicle to put that Audison Prima 10-inch sub. And you've got loads and loads of room underneath there. So you could add even more amplification. You could add even more bigger bass into the car. The space in this car is phenomenal. We can do a hell of a lot more with it as well. But yeah, I mean, I'm really happy with the final results. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's video, guys. It really helps us out if you could smash that subscribe button. But really looking forward to upgrading your car next, maybe. But also, please don't forget to share the video with friends and family. It goes a long way for us. And also comment below on what you want to see in future videos. We're always looking to improve, and it makes a massive difference giving your feedback, so it helps us develop as a company and also as a YouTube channel to give back to you guys. Thank you once again for watching. I'll see you on the next one.